Stampers, Kim from stampingandperfection.com. Welcome to my craft room. I recently shared a video to celebrate World Card Making Day. I wanted to show you a new technique. So I made a 2-minute technique video to show you how to get an image that's really colorful like this. And I've got two here, and you can see they're slightly different. This one I was a little bit more heavy-handed with the colors covering up the original Hello Honey that I used. This one I left a little bit of Hello Honey peeking through, and I kind of like this one a little bit better because I like that light color peeking through. So, you know, that's just one technique. Now, to create the card that I want to make, I'm using two stamp sets. This stamp set here is the seasonally scattered stamp set. It's perfect for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Valentine's Day. And then the second stamp set I'm going to use is the hardwood background stamp. I love this background stamp. This and the wood grain embossing folder are two of my favorite things, especially for masculine cards. So I'm using those two stamp sets. Those are available at mystampingstore.com online. I'm using two framelit sets. I'm using the Apothecary Accents, and I've cut out a piece of Cajun Craze with this fabulous Apothecary Accents framelit. Okay, that's for the big shot. I'm also using the Ovals framelit collection, and I'm using the one in the middle. It's the fourth from the center and it's a fourth from the outside. And you'll notice that when I do this, I'm going to center the love image. It's going to cut off some of the dots on the side. I did that because I want it to fit inside the Cajun Craze mat that I've created, because I really love the Cajun Craze, and I really like to have a little mat showing around my images. So I'm going to send this through my Big Shot. So I've got this image cut out, and I'm just going to use my liquid adhesive, my multi-purpose liquid adhesive. You can use whatever your favorite adhesive is, and I'm going to center that on this mat just like this. Okay, the next thing that I did to attach this to the card was I have my 1/16 handheld circle punch, and I just slid this in here, and I tried to like center it the best I could on each end. This is a card for my husband for our anniversary, which is later in October, our 29th in fact. And I don't want to use a lot of bows on it, so I took a couple pieces of linen thread, and I doubled this over. This is probably maybe 10 inches long. I just doubled it over like this, and this is way more than I'm going to need for what I want to do. So I have this loop, and I just pulled this through just like that, and I did that on both ends. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I have a piece of crumb cake cardstock, and I'm going to stamp this with the soft suede ink using my background stamp. This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to take my background stamp, which you can see I've already used today, and I'm going to ink this up with soft suede. This is crumb cake cardstock, so this is going to give me a slightly darker background. I could use crumb cake or another color if I wanted to, but I just wanted it to be a little bit darker. And how I always do this, you'll notice I put a piece of copy paper underneath this, and I'm just going to place this down, and I try to get it as straight as I possibly can. And I don't know how straight that is. I haven't pushed down so I can move it over. And then I'm going to take this copy paper, wrap it over, and then I'm just going to press down on the whole thing, just like this. This preserves your hands a little bit, and you could use a brayer if you wanted to, but this is my favorite way to do it. Now I always have these really good tweezers. These are like bead making tweezers. I always have a pair of those handy. I'm just going to flip this over, and I'm going to give that a minute to dry. And I've got this piece created. So now I'm going to attach this to this piece right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to center it, a couple of Stampin' dimensionals on the back at this point, and adhere this down first so it's not sliding around, so you can get it exactly where you want it, just like that. I want to leave a little bit up here because I have an embellishment that I'm going to put up there. and flip it over like this, and I'm going to use glue dots. I'm going to put 2 glue dots on each side. So I'll put a glue dot here, and I'll put a glue dot here, and then I want to separate these like this, just so you can see the 2 pieces of linen thread on the front. Just like that. I trimmed these off like that. I did the same thing to the other side. So when you're done, you have something that looks like this. And you can see that little linen thread detail. Now this detail right here is one of the autumn wooden elements embellishments, and you get all kinds of shapes. You get some solid shapes, some shapes like, you know, that are like outline shapes. And I colored the acorn in soft suede. I have an oak leaf here that I want to color in the Hello Honey. I feel like my card needs a little bit more yellow. So I'm just going to take my ink pad, and this is exactly how I color. My ink pad is nice and goopy. Now don't push too hard because they do snap right there. That little neck of the stem of the leaf is a little bit, that's the weak point. If you know, it's going to snap, that's where it's going to snap. I'm going to take my tweezers, and then I'm just going to flip this over. I'll let that dry for a couple minutes so I don't get it all over my hands. Not that it matters. I'm a very messy crafter. Okay, once that's done, I have a piece of Mossy Meadows. This is cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. I'm just going to attach this again with my glue. Now I'm going to use a couple of glue dots and attach this wood element. This is a little bit darker yellow than I expected. Glue dots on the back of that, so I'm just going to attach that to the top of the card. I think another little detail I'd like at the top of that card is a little bit of linen thread. And here's something that I love to do. It's kind of trendy right now. I like to just make a few loops, like, you know, 3 or 4 different size loops, just like that, over one glue dot. I'll just cut that, attach that right up here to my card, like that, and I will make a little like knot here to cover that glue dot up. You could make a bow if you wanted to. So I'll just cut this off. Hopefully that knot, and you can fray this a little bit, like you can, you know, do quite a bit with that little dot right there. And the last touch I want to add, of course, I want to add some candy dots. So I've got a few Cajun Craze candy dots here. These are in the Regals collection. I'm just going to add 3 candy dots to the bottom because I love the Cajun Craze. It's such a pretty fall color. Now I will, these have glue dots on the back, and I will not push them down until I have them all lined up. When I have them all lined up, I'll push them down. I think I'm going to take one more Cajun Craze and put right in the middle there of that knot, and that completes my card for World Card Making Day. Thanks very much for watching. Stop by my blog at stampingimperfection.com for more ideas. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please like this video below and share it with your friends. Thanks very much for watching.